Welcome to the 7th of 13 SPSS video tutorials accompanying the first edition of the text Introduction to Statistics for Social Sciences. In this tutorial, we will be using IBM SPSS Statistics version 19. If you are using a different version of SPSS, you may notice some slight differences. In this tutorial, we will show you how to merge two datasets together. To follow along with this tutorial, you will need the files Chapter 7 Video Tutorial Data A.sav, Chapter 7 Video Tutorial Data B.sav, and Chapter 7 Video Tutorial Data C.sav. Suppose you and a colleague are collecting data on participants' rating of their computer knowledge. You are collecting data from 10 females, while your colleague is collecting data from 10 males. You record the female responses to the variables gender and rating 1 in the dataset Chapter 7 Video Tutorial Data A.sav. Meanwhile, your colleague records the male responses to the same variables in the dataset Chapter 7 Video Tutorial Data B.sav. Now, to analyze the combined data for females and males, you need to merge the two datasets together. To do this, we use the Merge Files command in SPSS. The Chapter 7 Video Tutorial Data A.sav file contains 10 respondents with a gender code of 1 for females and a rating score for the variable rating_1. Likewise, the Chapter 7 Video Tutorial Data B.sav file contains 10 respondents with a gender code of 2 for males and a rating score for the variable rating_1. Finally, each file has a variable titled subject that we will use to provide each respondent with a unique identifier, which we will use later on. The Merge Files command can be found in the Data drop-down menu. Once you select Merge Files, you are given two options: Add Cases and Add Variables. Merging the female and male data together means that we are adding cases to one of the datasets as opposed to adding variables. So at this point, we will select Add Cases. In the Add Cases window, we have the choice of merging our active dataset, that is the dataset we are currently viewing, with either a dataset that is already open or a dataset that is not open but is saved to a location we can access. Since we already have both datasets open, we will just select the option An Open Dataset, highlight the name of the file we wish to merge, and then press Continue. We then confirm that the variables we want to add cases to will be included in our active dataset, and then press OK. As you can see, the 10 male respondents from the dataset Chapter 7 Video Tutorial Data B are now included with our female respondents. Now that we have discussed how to merge cases, we will consider another situation where we need to merge variables from two different datasets. Carrying on with our previous example, we already have the self-reported rating of computer knowledge for 20 respondents. Now suppose that 2 months after you collected the initial data, you go back to those same 20 respondents and ask them to rate their knowledge of smartphones. Furthermore, you record the data for this new variable, rating_2, in the file Chapter 7 Tutorial Data C.sav. To merge the data regarding the new variable to our previous data, we now need to use the Add Variables option from the Merge Files command. To merge the file containing the 20 scores for the rating_2 variable to our current file containing the 20 respondents and their scores for the variable rating_1, we need to ensure that the participants in both files match each other so that we append the scores for the rating_2 variable to their correct respondent. To do this, we will use the variable titled subject to match the respondents. We can do this as long as each respondent is given a unique number, and that number is given to the same respondent in both datasets. To merge the file containing the variable rating_2 to our current file, we select Merge Files from the Data drop-down menu, and then select Add Variables. Since we already have the Chapter 7 video tutorial data c.sav file open, we just have to highlight the file and press Continue. In the Add Variables window, we can see that the variables gender and subject will not be merged from the Chapter 7 video tutorial data C file because they already exist in our current file. However, the variable rating_2 will be merged with our current file. Since our respondents are sorted by subject number, we do not need to do anything else at this point, other than press OK. As you can see, the variable rating_2 is now included with the rest of the variables. This brings us to the end of the SPSS video tutorial for Chapter 7. We hope that you have found this tutorial to be useful. In the next tutorial, we will look at how to obtain confidence intervals for means and proportions.